pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You guys are speaking up. What's the first thing on our agenda?
The first thing is your minute
Budget
approval.
adoption.
All right.
You have budget adoption approval and you have regular meeting approval.
Okay, what about the salary thing?
We have to do
Talk
that by
about
the end of the year, so you guys have to start looking at that and thinking about it, yeah. I don't have a pen for that.
There's the next one here, Natalie.
I've got one in my purse. So.
Okay. Kevin, we were gonna go talk to George on Monday.
Huh?
Said you and I were supposed to go talk to George on Monday. We kinda got sidelined with the paint fest in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We can try that next Monday if you want.
That's fine.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at the meeting minutes?
Well, what they weren't in.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last month.
Do I have a second?
I wasn't here, so I can't, can I?
What?
I said I wasn't here, so.
Oh, yeah, no, you can't.
I'll second it, I guess.
Okay. Any corrections?
Not that I've seen.
Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes from October 10th, 2023?
Aye.
Hi.
Okay. Any negative?
Ken didn't vote because he isn't here.
Oh, okay. Those are approved.
Your budget one.
Okay. I gotta read this again.
It's just our budget here.
Bless you.
Do I need to read this out there?
No, you just need a motion to approve them.
Okay. Okay, we had our budget adoption meeting on the 10th, and
That wasn't on, actually it was not on the 10th, it was on the
Okay.
19th. So that does need corrected.
let me just line it out.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't remember that.
No, we did have it on the 10th. That's
Yeah, we
is
did.
correct. That is correct. Just ignore that. I was
Okay.
thinking about something else. Sorry.
All right,
You have another copy of those. We can sign the other one.
all right.
Okay. Long day.
Okay, trash that.
No, I'm just gonna wait with mine.
So we just
You
need
just need a motion to approve the minutes.
So I need a motion to approve these minutes from the October 10th.
I will make a motion to approve those.
I will second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Yay.
Do we have another one?
Like a light dark. Lighter shirt.
You don't have to talk me through it. I'm tired. I can't talk to me.
All right, here's a public comment.
All right, we'll go around for public comment. Mr. Fisher, is that who?
Yeah.
Okay, you want
Okay.
to start off?
Yeah, sure. My name is Mike Fisher, and I'm a vice president and a board member of the Park Trails Alliance group. And we'd like to always kind of keep in contact and give you an update. So I'm here to give an update on the status. And so as a lot of you know, that most of the construction, south and north of town has been completed. We haven't officially opened the trail because there's still some work that we want to complete before we do that, and we're hoping to have that around the National Trails Day, which is around June 1st of next year.
Oh, okay.
And want to ask them what some items that we have to complete before we do fully open this. And we have a lot of signs that we want to install that'll also give information. Also can be in compliant with 911 and some other markers that we have. We're going to have some landscaping and finishing touches on the trail edges. As most of you have noticed, then down on Lambert Avenue at the county line, then we just finished putting in the fencing and the ballards there for blocking that. One of the next steps that we have also to do in that is that those are lockable, but they're also unlocked and can be folded down so either emergency or people can get access into that. So we're going to have a lock box with a code that'll be installed right there, and that information will be shared then with the
That's a good idea.
with the different, and then we'll have the same probably set of keys and everything, because we're going to also have the same type of setup in behind Shopmeyer's and to go in through there. So it'll be right there, easily accessible then for any emergency crews and
You're gonna give that key, you're gonna give that key code to Parke County Dispatch?
The code?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yes, yes. We're gonna work and get as much information, see whatever the needs are gonna be, and, to do that, so.
Now, signage, are you talking about signage on the trail or in town to show people where to go to the trails, or?
Well, now that is something we'll have to talk to you about then. That's one question, that if there is a sign then that's out in the town or along the edge of the road,
Yeah.
where would it be, and work with the town then to do that before anything.
Okay.
Also then is that we're also going to install some new kiosks then at the trailhead. Here we have off of East Street, and then one down also then on Lambert Avenue that'll give also information, and we're looking at later in the future putting another one then on the north end.
Okay.
We're also looking at installing some benches. There's already one bench then on the south trail, and we're looking at 1 to 2 more then on the north end. And then we're also looking at installing a bridge, which is right next to, it's adjacent to coming off from Shopmeyer's,
Yeah.
back an angle across to cross that small creek, and then have an asphalt approach going to that. And that is another thing we'd like to work, and have to bring up to discussion then with the town, is if it's all right if we do that, having access and be paved,
The one thing that we're hoping we're on the list with the county to get our culvert replaced there. I don't know if we've had any more information about that or not.
I don't know, Mike might know.
Mike, do you know if they really budgeted in the culvert down there for
I can
replace-
call him. I haven't talked to him
Okay.
for a few days.
So it might be better to wait till they get that done, if it's gonna be soon.
I think it has been approved.
I was
Okay.
gonna say Mark was originally going to try to work with them to work in conjunction to do that all at once, and maybe save you guys and them some money to do it as a combined thing.
I don't think that's
I
worked out.
don't think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
gonna go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Cause they're
But-
going down a little.
And then we also heard that, next year, they're gonna blacktop and pave the north end of,
Probably not next year.
No, we're not doing that next year.
or not?
No,
Okay.
mm-mm.
Okay.
We're not gonna have a community crossings match next year.
Maybe the year after, we're hoping.
Yeah, the thought was to if they're gonna do get the stormwater project in, and then get that culvert, bridge, whatever replaced down there, and then work on some paving. But yeah, we won't have a match this year.
Okay. Well, we would propose then that we'll go ahead and put that bridge in across there, and then to work with you, and we'll bring that up then if we have to have a meeting or to talk about.
I just don't want them to come and then, make the flow different or something like that and mess up your bridge
Right.
after.
I don't think it will, because
It's down farther than.
yeah, the access will come if you look at that
Is
from
it-
Miller Street that comes out there on
Yeah.
the corner. So it'd just be right there at that corner, and then angling towards Shopmeyer's across
So
there.
more behind that building? To the
Yes,
end?
yes.
Okay. All right.
And that's actually where the old trestle or where the tracks cross. So we'll use that same approach and
Okay.
everything.
So that is, yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
We also then going to install and finish the fence. We're going to bring the fence in. It's in behind Shopmeyer's, all the way out close to the road. And then on that corner, then we're going to have a chain link fence in that, so you'll have visibility going around that corner in case we have bikers or pedestrians. Will be able to, So we've had some past issues, of course, with the wind and blowing it down, but we've got it repaired. At that corner we haven't, but right now we got some quotes out to have that replaced then with a chain link fence.
Are you gonna have some parking there? More parking?
Well, that is one thing that I know that I think it had been brought up in the past. There's like 2 or 3 parking spots on the north side of the bridge there.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to, again, to work with the town and see if we could have that marked or painted with signage, to see if we could possibly have, 2 or 3 parking spots there. Cause,
Like street parking?
pardon me?
Like on the street? Street
Yes.
parking? Oh,
Yeah,
I don't remember ever talking about that.
I don't either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, where that house is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know if they'd appreciate that, but
I think it's empty.
Well,
I think it is, but
Yeah.
how long is it gonna be?
Right.
empty?
yeah.
So-
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
this is
that's,
just ideas.
that's a discussion, yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Go on.
So then we would propose then to see if we could just get an okay if to put that bridge, if it'd be all right at the time then to bring that. It'd be, and it's our property that right to our property lines that come right out there, and we'd have be able to access that from the street, and it'd be so an asphalt. As far as I know at this point, then an asphalt approach then
So
to the bridge.
you bought that corner, or did you buy that building also?
No, not the building. There's approximately, I think, 80 feet then,
Okay.
right through there. And that's it. It was just right along the old railroad
Okay.
right away. So,
So you're all done with the, that end?
well, no, we still got some landscaping to do, and down toward the Lambert Avenue then, I think we're going to do some landscaping there and possibly put in some trees, some benches, a nice area down there on that end, and
So we're not gonna get any pay. I hate to beat a dead horse, but we
yeah, well,
really wanted asphalt all the way to the Lambert.
absolutely, and we did too. And then
Yeah.
unfortunately, then when the project was submitted back in 2019, it was in there for that. But since then, asphalt price has doubled since then. So that is something that for right now, we'll have it as it is. And then we're still looking forward to, once we get, if the other completed projects, if we go back, if there's enough funds,
Yeah.
that's one of our #1 priorities then, is to asphalt that section in.
So are you gonna build a bridge across the creek then?
Across that bay? Right now, no. Right now, we're not. No, the next big bridge that'll really go in, that'll be across the Little Raccoon up there at Jessup then.
Oh,
Excuse me, and that's where we'll be taking the bridge then over from Bridgeton then. Its removal is going to be targeted to be toward the end of this year, and then approximately 6 months to have it refurbished and put back together. And the target date is about April to May next year, then have it installed back in over there with the little raccoon.
Okay.
So,
You're still having a lot of people that's not enthused about the project? Or you-
I think there's always going to be some, you
Well,
know,
yeah.
so, yeah. But
But you've worked that out mostly?
I think so, yes, yeah. And I know the town of Rosedale has really been, has really been supportive of what we've done and had so far, so.
We like the trail.
Yeah, and that's why I said, we appreciate all the support and everything and trying to work together, so.
Well, that June 1st date, I don't know, that's around our Strawberry Festival
Mhm.
weekend or not?
Probably pretty close.
Yeah, so that might be nice to have it around the same time.
Now, are you guys putting parking across on Lambert? It looks like you've got like some gravel over on the other side. I didn't know if you were guys gonna put some parking over there.
No, we're
Okay.
not then. The only reason that was is that the time that we had equipment and had trucks and stuff like that.
That was my other thought of it. So.
And, yeah, so what we're gonna do then, that's another thing, is that the signage will put up, do not park here, you know. So, unfortunately, no. So,
Okay.
but, the only couple questions then that we have, of course, then was, coming across with the bridge here on the north end, and was the thoughts of connecting the trail up here on the south end over to the park. And,
I think we've decided not to do that.
okay,
Because we're gonna try to do, it just seemed too tight there. There's a lot there and there's a telephone pole and it goes right. I just didn't think it's just two houses between the park and the trail. They can just go around there.
Down the sidewalk. The sidewalk's not bad over there.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
I mean, you could put a sign that says park over there and,
Oh,
or
absolutely,
we
yeah.
could do that, or
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
on the road here, if somebody wants to go there, but, yeah, I think we decided not to do that.
Okay, all right. And then also then, I think he was going to be looking at an alternate plan to go through town here. I was just told to ask if you'd had an opportunity to discuss that any further, and
Well, we had agreed upon going across and through the park, and then you guys changed your mind on it, and that's when we decided in the meeting that it's going to go from central, right,
Yeah,
across and straight to Main and go up,
okay.
yeah.
because you guys weren't keeping your end of it, what
Yeah,
you
we-
had said. So
We spent a lot of time. We spent
Yeah.
a lot of time on trail plans. We spent a lot of time walking it and planning and all of this, only to be told that the part that they were going to do in town was just going to be too expensive. So I don't think that it's like, I mean, we love the trail. I use the trail almost every day. Huge trail fans. I think we just feel like, I understand the cost issues, but we were just kind of like, you know what? We'll just use our roads and our sidewalks, and we'll focus our
Yeah.
financial efforts more on our sidewalks and things like that. So
Okay.
I mean, if it's gonna be biking, they can go down the road, there's no problem with that. We have a lot of people already biking through.
right, we don't have that much traffic anyway. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just thought it was too tight there if somebody wants to build a house on that
Yeah.
lot or buy it or whatever. And,
Have you guys talked to Randy about that bridge that's been put in there, Mike?
Talk to who?
Randy Norton?
Randy.
How far is that little bridge gonna be away from the bridge that's there now?
Let's see, if I had to kind of guess, I'd say approximately 75 to 100 feet.
Where's that bridge going in at?
It's a pretty good ways away where that old trestle was. I know where you're talking about. Yeah, it's not close to the bridge at all.
Yeah, it's because we'd also heard that it could be, right now that bridge and repair was on hold, and
yeah, well, we've been pushing for that.
Okay.
Because it has a
budgeted
lot of traffic
it's
on
been
it, a lot of
approved.
semis. And if that you know, I'd hate to see for
I
that.
just don't want them to put their bridge in and then them come in and that bridge be in the way.
Well, I don't think that. I don't.
Okay.
No.
I don't think
Oh,
that's
no,
an
it
issue,
would be,
Mike.
yeah, it's gonna be, yeah,
Well, I don't know
well,
whether they're gonna
Yeah.
pull the decking up, put a culvert under it, or a tank car, or how he wants to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about, how far they'll.
'Cause they'll have to have
go.
equipment in there to do that.
Yeah.
Right, didn't want it to tear your stuff up.
oh, no, it'd be way, yeah, yeah. And if you ever wanna go and look, it's just where the old bridge went across there then, so. The old, or train crossing then, yeah. Well, and right now, that's about all I have, and like I say, if there's anything that we can do, if you want to discuss anything further, anything, feel free, and, you know, we
Okay.
can get a, you know, either set up another meeting, and,
Have you got a business card with your number on it?
I don't have a business card, no, I
Oh.
don't.
I have Mike on my phone. He called me the other
Oh,
day.
okay, oh, good.
So I have it.
We're pretty much connected then with,
Yep.
with
Or I
the-
could tell Jimbo
Oswell.
to tell
yeah,
him.
there you go.
Yep.
Well, if that's all. Does anybody else have any questions for Mike? Well, it sounds good.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
And you don't have to stay. and
Okay,
listen to the
well.
rest of our
Yeah.
meeting.
All
As
right
You can
then.
if you want, though. You're not. No one's kicking you out.
All right, well,
As
I'll just go ahead and
exciting as
excuse
they
myself,
get,
but,
you know.
all right, thank you again.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
I haven't seen him for years. All right, what's next on our
You're
agenda?
going to Old
Going-
Chestnut.
Okay. Mike, did you have anything you wanted to say tonight?
Other than that, the dump trucks are ready. We did some maintenance work on them. The sander's already in one of them. That's ready to go.
Okay.
Plows, stuff, and everything. They're ready to go. In case we do get snow, I'm hoping we don't. But in case we do. Meters, we've been putting monitors in. A lot of them.
Okay. And I
That's
sent
it.
a message to,
Oh, to Rich?
yeah, about that, so,
Okay. Yeah, that's the last one that I know other than, I think there
for
were
now.
6 of them left.
Andrea will be in the morning. Yeah, there's some left. We didn't spec them all out. We kept some intentionally.
In case the.
And we-
should
yeah,
put
and-
in, should have a problem.
Well, not really as much as that. It was just we tried to replace. So sometimes a meter will not read 1 month, but then the next month it will read. So if it was like somebody that didn't read 1 month, then we didn't put them on the list necessarily. So
Oh.
we still are gonna have to manual read some, but when we get into winter, we're just gonna have to estimate. So, but we didn't intentionally. We didn't say, okay, we're gonna use them all right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll
They
have
went
them
in
to start.
quicker than I really expected them to go.
Yes, it has gone pretty fast. So.
We found pretty good.
Kevin, Mike, you guys want anything about, do we wanna go ahead and have Scott do his thing right now?
Well, he's old business. He's stormwater project.
Okay.
So do you want to do
He's
that?
old business.
Yeah.
That's old business.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we're on to old business.
Been
Thank
laying
you,
there for
Michael.
my trailer, so I'm going home.
Okay.
Take a shower.
So, as you guys know, we've been having this discussion about the stormwater project, about the fee. It's $7.50 per user. When we started this project, we bought that rate down by putting in $96,000 of our ARP funds. At the beginning of ARP funds, you could really only use that for projects like this. And then they broadened it. And then we've gone back and forth with this rate consultant on, you know, is it enough money? Is it not enough money? And we steadfastly said in the very beginning, it will be $7.50 for right now, and that's what we'll charge. I don't think, you know. So after all the rates are analyzed, we can stay at $7.50, correct, Scott?
Great.
But
But there's a but.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a wrong.
All of that was based on us borrowing $149,000.
Okay.
I think we'll be fine borrowing $149,000 because we, like you and I talked about, Scott, we do already have stormwater money built up. If we run a little short, we can use that money.
correct. And
So,
the estimates for the project include 60,000 for construction observation. I talked to Eric Smith.
Yeah.
They think that's probably high because you got a good contractor and they're not gonna be out here needing to, you know, babysit them.
Right.
So if those fees come in a little less, there's construction contingency that's 17,000 that you might not ever have to touch. You can borrow the 149 and be fine. Your rates are more than enough at that level. You could borrow a little bit more and still keep your rates where they're at. Of course, your payments are more, and your interest rate's not bad. It's 2.5%, but
Wish we could all get that kind of interest rate.
well, no kidding. Yeah, it's a subsidized rate, so that does help keep your costs down. But you know, that's the lawyer who is with this program actually emailed this morning. So they're very nice. They're like, they'll loan you up to 200,000.
Oh,
you want
yeah, I'm
200,000.
sure.
And she was like, just let me know, you know, what you want to do, and they'd like to try and get it closed before the year's out. But you know, they said if you need more time, the only reason you'd really need more time is if you did decide you wanted to borrow more than the 149, you wanted to get up to like mid 160s, you would have to increase your rates. But it wouldn't take a big rate increase, it would be like 4%. But it's probably more of a hassle to raise the rates 4% than it is just to go with what you got. You actually are going to bring, it's just confusing, but you're actually bringing in a couple grand a month, which is more than enough to make your estimated payments. But they want to see, we don't want to see you're just bringing in just enough to make the payments. You have to have what's called 125% coverage. So they want to see you bringing in 25% more than what your payments are. So, which I understand, you know, something. Now with this, it's hard to see what's going to go. You know, it's not like you got to go out there and fix the pump or something. But nevertheless, the rule's the rule. So it's up to you everything's basically ready. It's just a matter of deciding what you want to do. You want to borrow the 149, a little bit more than that. Up to you.
We currently have a balance in stormwater of like $12,000. Stormwater $14,342. So we're really in pretty good shape. I mean.
And and you're bringing in a couple grand a month.
Yep.
So
we're gonna build.
Now
still,
you'll have to start making payments in next year. So
right.
But
yeah.
you've got some cushion there, and I do think there's some cushion in the project budget.
I think so too. I've looked at it again today. So.
What was our original match that we had to make? Was it 149?
No, our match is 96. Our
Okay.
ARP money bought 96.
Plus you already paid 5, right?
Yes, and we had already paid
101.
5 for the environmental review. So, yeah, so we've spent 101 on our side. We've got 101 spec'd out.
Okay, so now we're borrowing an extra 149.
So we've got this. The grant is worth 600,000,
Got ya.
and then our spending is about 100,000, and then the 149 that brings the project to 850.
Okay.
So construction, I mean, the budget's over on my desk if you want to look at it later, but it's, B&T came in at 607, I think.
Yes, they did.
And yeah, and that's a good number. That was under our estimates.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, on the financial end, I think we're fine at 149. That's my opinion. So,
I think so.
Yeah.
Do we want to vote on that? Guys? Is everybody,
Yeah, I would say
so make a motion that we, decide to
finalize
just,
borrowing.
finance 149,000.
I'll make a motion to
You know,
borrow that.
Hope we don't regret it later.
Um,
But I mean, if something goes wrong, surely they have a guarantee of their work for a certain amount of
They do.
time.
oh, sure.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
It's usually a year.
A year.
And then, but they said they're
It's a good
It's a
contract.
good contract. And this is not, there's not really mechanical parts to this or
I know.
anything like that.
Like,
There's-
you wouldn't think it'd be $850,000 for what we're doing.
Yeah, well, you have to engineer everything like you're building the space shuttle, so
Yeah,
that adds in,
yeah.
and then grant administrators and lawyers, and lawyers and financial
So
people. And,
somebody's dog getting stuck in it is not gonna throw it all off, is it?
I did have one time where in Cayuga where they drained one. We couldn't. It was a basketball.
Oh,
Somehow had got in there, and it was the exact, and it had everything plugged up, and so I guess you could have that. That really wouldn't be the contractor's fault, I suppose. But
we'll
Yeah.
just outlaw basketballs and
There you
care.
go.
Okay,
So who's your second? Do you have one?
I will say.
okay. Okay.
Take a vote.
Oh, you know, you're all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You have to vote too, Carol.
Oh, aye,
Okay.
sorry.
I will let the powers that be know.
Okay.
And we'll start the ball rolling
Okay.
towards you
Towards
signing thousands
closing
of
it.
pieces of paper.
Okay. Sounds good.
Do we have anything else for Scott tonight?
I don't have anything else for Scott. I mean, he just said, "You want me to come to your meeting?" And I said, "Yeah, I think you should come to our meeting."
It got me out of
So-
going to Dana.
There you go.
Oh,
So, yep.
I'll come any month you want.
All right.
I can't
So-
think of anything right now, but
Do you want to talk about community crossing since we're in old business?
sure,
We can move to that one.
what we got there.
Thank you, Ken, for sending that email. As I stated before, and Ken and I talked about it, and he went and looked over things since he's in charge of the streets now. I think that the road project, while it's a good project, it does need. There's a few things that I think could be better, and Ken and I both agree on that. I think you guys all agree on that. So I sent a group email to Kevin Hay, the engineer, Ron Shepard as the inspector, Ken, Carol, and the contractor, and asked if we could all meet up and look at things. And Ron Shepard's response was, well, we need to do it when it rains. And hasn't rained. So Ken sent a nice email in the last couple days and said, hey, we don't know when it's going to rain.
It's gonna knock it off center.
Yeah, he said we just really need to look at it. So Friday at 1, they're going to come in and we're going to look at it. Kevin, I know you said this, but I don't know if you were serious or not, but would the fire department add some water to the road for us? Would anybody be available to do that?
Friday at 1 o'clock.
Well, actually, Ron Shepard
he
said it
said
would be
9
better to do
o'clock,
it
but
if we put water on it at 9.
Is that
And
too
then we
soon
met
though, or
at
no?
1.
Is that gonna be too soon? I don't know.
I don't know. Is there anybody
Me, I
around
was
that can
thinking
add
like
any
10 or
water
11,
to
but-
some low spots?
I gotta work Friday. I could try. Mike and them guys. Has Cliff been working much?
Cliff has not been working very much. He's not
Mike
been
would
feeling
have a
very
hydrant
good.
wrench and stuff. If there's a hydrant close, I mean, I can give him a piece of hose. I can give him a section of hose, and he should be able to put water on it if there's a hydrant close. I mean, I will see. Let me see. Let me send out a group.
Okay.
Now it's a 50% chance on Friday, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
So
still don't trust it. But
was that Friday night or Friday?
they didn't really say what time of day. Hell, I guess I could look here.
Mine's still got
I
60%.
still haven't seen what we're at.
So, and I've received no tickets on the second round of paving. They're supposed to turn all their tickets in so I can make sure their materials line up, and they've not given me any. So I did make a request in that email. Last night I was doing talk to text, and my email was not going through correctly. And I did one today, and I asked for some tickets, and I haven't gotten anything back. So
When did Mike want to
Looks
do
like
that?
rain. 60% chance around 11 on Friday morning.
yeah. So
What about He's gotta get somebody to do it.
I don't know.
I'll just put let us know.
Yeah. So that's where we're at on community crossings. I haven't paid any bills because we pay at the end and we have to. And that I will say in that email too, Ken, Ron did say that we have a year's worth of, workmanship or whatever. That's the first I've heard that. Because in all the community crossings that we've done, I've never heard him say that before. So.
From what I know of what we got to do, it's going to be a little bit of work to fix those. I mean, it's not going to be just. I mean, to me, they're going to have to mill it, put a new base down.
I know, and
I mean, it's not going to be a. Yeah. So
Well,
I just feel like there's going to be some
yeah, I don't
hard
think it's
discussions on Fridays.
that's what I'm expecting as well, and I'm glad that you're in on that. So it's not just me being the big meanie. Mike also, we can, and Ron said we can ask for a core sample too to make sure we have the right thickness. So I think we might consider that. Mike's worried that it's not thick enough, and I think he feels like he feels bad because he's like, I just thought it was okay, and then now that you guys are talking about it more, I don't know that it is okay. So, yeah. So lessons learned. We just want a good product. That's what I've said all along. So.
Right.
Well, we don't want to happen what was before.
Yeah,
you know,
that's.
dipping, diving, and rolling
Yeah.
around and coming
I
down.
wouldn't be super concerned about it if that wasn't a problem area, and that's been the worst spot in town for ever.
Well, and I don't know how many people drive West Street into town, but by the storage units, there's a low spot and there's a
Yeah.
puddle there all the time. And that was our very first community crossings project, and I don't think any of us had any
Yeah.
it. And we should have been able to say, wait a minute, that's not good enough. But I don't think we just had enough experience. So.
I know I kind of put it in the email a little bit, but I pull a lot of trailers through town,
Yes.
and I see a huge difference pulling the trailer. I mean, when you hit that just right, it's.
Oh yeah, Justin said that too.
Oh yeah, I
He
mean
said
it's just
really,
a tremendous
yeah.
difference. I mean, it shouldn't be that bad pulling the trailer.
We drove it one time, and it's like in
Or
the
a
new
motorcycle.
police vehicle. It's,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel near what it feels in my '98 Explorer.
Right. It
I know,
does.
like,
It does feel different in different cars I drive too, so yeah. All right.
Scott need to stay. Do you?
Scott
You
can
kick me out
stay.
if you want, but I was
I
just
mean,
saying.
just
Well,
let him
you-
stay.
You,
Let him stay.
I'm here.
I mean, it's up to you.
yeah, we might have questions.
Yeah, let him stay.
Who knows?
Probably still get over to Dana.
I was gonna say, it's still
Yeah.
no
If I leave,
excuse.
you're writing me notes because I was here till 9. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Cody, you want to touch on murals?
Okay, yeah, so we did not get approved for, our grant didn't get picked or selected rather, for our mural this time around.
Okay.
Our next, a next adoption for that would be in, I want to say February, the beginning of February, so I'm going to put another one in February to try to get some funding that way. I've also been in touch with Arts Atlanta to see if maybe
There's any fun.
there's some funding they can put
yeah.
towards it as well, because they're the ones that's working on getting us an artist and everything. So, but we've got a meeting at the beginning of December to go over some more of that. So
So where's the locations?
we're gonna
On the
have
building?
right over here on the edge of the police station.
I have a grant. There's a grant opportunity, Cody, if you want to stop in later so you can look at it with me. It's due by the end of this month, but
Okay.
you and I might be able to hustle. I don't know if we can use it for this, but there's some other opportunities I think in it. So
Okay.
it's a United Way grant. It's a Neighbors Helping Neighbors, Strong Neighborhoods grant. So
I think that might be one that he was telling me about.
that
so,
Arts Atlanta was telling you about,
Yeah.
yeah. So I have all that stuff on my. Evan sent it to me, and so yeah, just want
Okay.
come over and holler at me and we can look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, you were telling me about that
Mhm,
too. It
yeah.
sounded promising. All right. We have any more old business?
I will say this, last month we did agree to start putting money into the water and sewer improvement funds. I did do that for the first time. So hopefully we can continue to do that.
Oh. Roof.
Oh, that's a new
That's new.
business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's new.
I'm just looking at our old business.
This, I get this. Yeah, that's it for old business.
Um,
This is new business
Is
as
the
well.
AT&T building's water bill still real high?
It's gone down some.
Okay.
It's still kind of high, but it's gone down some. I think I didn't pay attention to it this
Is the
month.
Dollar General still high?
They're fine. They're pretty normal right now. I
Okay.
just processed their payment today, so yeah.
Yes.
Natalie, do you have contact information now for the AT&T building?
Yes.
I'm gonna need that.
Okay. Yeah, I have it in my drawer. I think I put it on the. Yeah, that guy
You can
left
just
that.
Email it to me or something.
Yes, I can.
I need that for the prosecutor.
Oh yeah, I talked to him
Oh,
today.
did it
so.
get tagged too?
Yeah.
How many buildings got tagged?
6 that I know of.
Oh, fine.
Well, 5 buildings and then the sidewalk in front of Dan Lloyd's house.
Push for community service when you prosecute.
I don't do that.
Oh, thanks.
What do they get?
I don't do criminal, I told you.
No, he's no criminal.
Spray paint.
I think that takes you to new business. So.
Okay.
Yep.
I did.
Good.
All right. New business is, I've got
That
a
was the one that Natalie bought to make a
letter
daycare.
to.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
What were we
They
talking
have,
about?
So, discussing
been caught,
spray
and
paint.
pictures
Oh,
have pictures
yeah.
already been
Nice.
submitted to the prosecutor.
So,
Yeah.
to say the least, she was not
Oh,
happy
yeah.
tempered.
Latex or-
Well,
And
it's
then,
spray paint.
But
It's,
nobody's got cameras around.
it's not
well,
latex.
what 2 days did the spray painting
Well,
It was
occur?
Monday.
Yeah.
Of this
What's
one.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
two
it was
days,
this
what 2
Monday.
days
You
did the
can-
spray painting occur?
It sounds like from what we learned, it started possibly as early as Friday and went all the way through Sunday.
Oh,
It's quite the party. Let Carol do new business, and then you can talk about that in the police.
I want to talk about yards.
All right, I have a note here from Rebecca Bailey. Rosedale Town Council, after many months, I am resigning as town council member as of October 31st, 2023.
You need to make a motion to accept her resignation.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I want to say Becky's been a great council member. She's served since,
She said she taught 17 years.
not 17 years. No, it's not
No,
been 17
she came
years.
in after I did.
Yeah, she
Okay.
started after you did. I think she started in 2017.
Maybe that's what
Yeah,
she said.
I'd say maybe
Okay, I was like,
2017.
I thought
yeah.
she told me 17
She
years.
filled a seat vacated by Randy Flowers.
Okay. So
That's,
right
whose,
before
that's
me?
whose seat she took. Yeah, because
Oh,
she and I had to talk about it. She said she's been thinking about resigning for a long time, and even before John got sick, but she said she stuck it out. She said she just thought it was time, so she said, she said, keep me in the loop.
Well,
So we'll
she
miss
told
her.
me, You and Barbara
Yeah.
come by and talk to me.
Yeah, we'll miss her. She's already messaged me and said, hey, I know I resigned. I'm like, I know. That's fine. So she's been a great addition, and we'll miss her for sure.
Okay.
So you will have an open seat on the council, and we can advertise for letters for
Yes.
people that have interest.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, they can contact the office or send a letter and put it in the Dropbox. Anybody that's interested in the seat it's non-party affiliated.
Yeah, it's
And
all independent.
It's not ward assigned anymore, so they can live anywhere in town, so. Cards, letters, keep them coming when you need somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
And other new business, you need to discuss the salary ordinance.
All right.
Because you'll need to pass that. You'll need to decide what you want to do, and you'll have to have it passed by, or next meeting. So,
So this is,
that's last year. That's
Last
our current
year's.
ordinance. That's
And
our
then
current, that's everyone's current stuff.
everybody
Yes.
needs to review it and see if we need to raise anything.
This is the salary amendment that we did when we hired Mike as the street superintendent. We removed the full-time status from that job just because he doesn't work full-time and he didn't really need that stuff. So So we took that out of there. That's the amendment. So you guys can decide what you want to do on salaries.
What if we end up hiring a full-time?
Well, if you end up hiring a full-time, you can put that stuff back in there, like paid holidays and things like that. We just changed the language of it a little bit for what we're doing right now with having 2 part-timers. Yeah. So.
So we just, everybody review it, we'll vote on it next time.
That's fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Done that?
We'll have to have a full council next time for sure, because you needed 2 readings to pass the salary ordinance, so you can read it in one. Am I right, Scott? Am I right?
I'm sorry, I was reading an email.
Am I right? Two readings for a salary ordinance, but we can pass it in
You can
one if
do-
everybody's here.
Yeah, you just,
Okay.
not everybody has to
Okay.
be here, just.
Okay,
So
let's
I
suspend
have
the
to
rules.
read
rules.
it.
Present.
Everybody has to read it themselves.
Right, you just have to decide what you want to pay people. That's
Okay.
what you guys have to do. Do you
Okay.
want to do it like a 3%? Do you want to do whatever? So that's what you guys
What
have to
we do
decide.
last
So
year.
Salary ordinances not be done same day, same meeting.
you can do it the same day, same meeting. Yeah. 3% is what we've done in the
3%
past.
last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Because last year we just raised
Well,
deputy, right? Or did we?
we raised everybody. That's you didn't raise council members, which you can do council member raises. You raised everyone else 3%. So like marshal, deputy marshal, myself, street superintendent. I asked you to give Andrea's job a little bit more of a raise because it had not moved.
That was-
because it wasn't full.
I was gonna say,
No one
yeah,
was
I
in that job
remember.
for 2.5 years, so I asked it to go to 14. So that's where that one came from. So
I was gonna
yeah.
say, I remember we focused on Andrea and getting him more.
yes,
So,
Yeah.
yep. So that's where we were at. So you guys can think on that. I budgeted in for 3%. That's typically what you do. That was in my budget. So
Well, speaking of town employees, is Rob, is he?
Rob's a
thinking about-
subcontractor.
Okay, but is he thinking about retiring soon or anything?
He and I had a conversation. I kind of thought he had at least 3 or 4 more years.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought.
and he's
Yeah.
the water operator.
No, he's
Oh,
the wastewater
okay.
operator, and
Yeah.
he's a 1099, so
Okay.
he's not in your salary ordinance. So
Yeah, but I'm kind of concerned about, we need probably to start. sourcing
let
that
me
out.
let me talk to him. Let me
Yeah.
ask him what he's thinking about. I'll
I'm
shoot.
sure
He's got to
he'll
come
know.
by anyway. I'll
'Cause he
send him a
handles-
message stuff. So
He handled Sandcut, the one there in Sandcut as well, I know. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he would, whoever's going to replace him.
oh well,
I'm
there's
sure.
other wastewater operators.
Yeah.
There's other ways to go. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean,
I'm
they're
just
not
wondering
they're
if
not
we-
everywhere, but you do have some companies
Yeah,
that do
I remember
offer
when
those
we-
services. Yeah. So.
Tried to find somebody before it was kind of,
Oh yeah.
because all the training around here is all Illinois and Indianapolis. It's not, I don't think they offer any water certificates or
They-
anything. Really.
Alliance of Indiana has some programming that offers those kind of
Does
stuff.
it?
So yeah.
Okay.
But I think he's got a few more years. So
All right, where are we at now? Should we do,
that's new business.
anything else?
I don't really have anything else to talk about. This is a fire department contract.
Yeah.
Kevin and I have been talking about the insurance. It's kind of confusing what we're supposed to pay, what the Florida Township trustee is supposed to pay. And so he and I were going to go talk to, we have Natalie Decker from, when MJS got bought out by RT, Natalie Decker handles our insurance now. She's in the Crawfordsville office. George should know, but the township trustee pays part of it, we pay part of it, but it's all like really confusing, and Natalie Decker sent it and said that we were paying 68% of it, and that the trustee would be paying 32% of it. And then there's language in our contract about what we're supposed to pay, and so it's all really confusing.
Natalie's got it messed up.
You think so? Okay. So,
I
not
called-
this Natalie, the
I
other
made a phone
Natalie.
call to Steve Rooks and talked to Steve.
Oh, yeah, you talked to Steve, yes. So,
Okay.
right, so we need to sit down and figure it out, so. But that's the fire department contract, we'll sign that
So
next month.
maybe have a
So-
little meeting and sit down with George
Yeah.
and everybody.
Yeah.
So that, we need to
That's for,
discuss that.
yeah, we can sign that contract next month, yeah, so. I don't have any other new business.
So when's the wastewater project actually start?
The stormwater project?
Yeah.
The construction will start next year.
Okay.
B&T
I
couldn't
seen
bid it
something
in
in here
this
about
year.
25.
What?
Did I see something in here about 25 is going to finish up? Or
Gotta be
what was
completed
that?
by.
That might be just a close by 20.
Yeah, I
don't-
think that was the
Grant
original.
closeout.
Yeah, probably grant closeout, yeah, somewhere
Okay.
along the way, but yeah. So, yeah, construction next year, so.
So,
Scott.
Oh, well, you were asked about new business. This isn't really anything to take action on, but going through all the numbers here and all this is part of the project. You don't have to do anything right now, but you are probably gonna need to look at raising your sewer rates in the coming years. Has nothing to do with this project. Now, you do have some bonds that are gonna be paid off soon, so that might help. But, sewer costs, everything goes up.
right,
And so, doesn't have anything to do with this project, but getting into the numbers as part of this, you could see it.
yeah.
You could see it.
We've
Well,
had,
And we've talked about water also.
Yeah,
Right.
water
Haven't
probably, yeah, I
raised
didn't,
that.
I mean, I didn't get this deep into the water
Yeah.
stuff, but, it's the same boat.
Well, we talked about raising it, what, 2% every
Well,
other year or something, and then
okay.
we didn't do that.
well, we raised it 10%, and the last time we raised it 10% water, we have not raised wastewater since we did the wastewater project, and that was in 2016,
Yeah.
2017. We raised water rates 10% in 2018, maybe 2000, and then we
Yeah.
did another flat 10% in 2020. So our base rate's $27.29. The overall picture of that money is if you raise it 10%, you're generating about an extra $1,000 a month.
Okay,
So it's really not that much
yeah,
extra money, considering the cost of all of our electricity has gone up, chemicals have gone up, wages have gone up, things like that. We are, unfortunately, we're not a growing community. We're steady.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I pulled numbers for Steve, I was like, okay, we pretty much have the same number of customers every year for the last 5 years. So we're not going to see this big population explosion or anything like
well,
that.
yeah,
So
we're not building anything new, or,
right. So, but yeah, those definitely have to be.
Yeah,
payments filed.
since I'm here
Yes.
and we were into it, it's not
Yeah.
urgent.
well, we talk about it a lot,
I-
but,
It's, and you may be able to hold off for a while, and sometimes it's good, if you do have some kind of sewer project you need to do, or water project you need to do, you can kind of wrap it all up and do a grant and loan, and you're raising rates a little bit, but yeah, we're also doing something to make the system
Right.
better. It sounds better, it looks better, feels better.
Right.
But,
we get grants for like pumps and stuff.
Well, I mean, you can do work, but
And did we ever get our water tower painted this summer?
we did not get the water tower painted. They did just come and inspect the water tower, though. Yes.
Okay.
I don't have the inspection report yet.
All
It
right.
came last week or the week before.
there's always new stuff coming out with your sewer stuff, especially in IDEM, and
Yeah.
requiring this now, and they require
Yep.
this now, and they told me the other day there was some new requirement they were expecting the next time people got their
I
permits.
was checked for COVID, isn't it, or something like that?
No, it's like nitrate.
No, the nitrates.
Nitrates.
So
yeah.
we are checking for nitrates at the water plant.
No, nitrate's a water issue. That's
Nitrate's
right.
a water issue. Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's something though on the sewer side that they think they're going to have you start having to deal with. And,
Yeah.
So, but Since I'm here, I don't get here very often, I just thought I'd
Just
be the bearer of a
throw
lot
out
of
all
good
this
news.
good news on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys haven't done anything else with the lead testing mandates, have you?
Oh, there is a lead service line inventory
Yeah.
that needs to be done. I have not stepped into that realm yet. Gary and I have not. We talked about it briefly, and then we didn't talk about it anymore. So,
There is a lot of money available.
but
for
there
that
is money
program.
available
Yeah.
for that. Yes, I
Yeah.
know, and he and I
So-
talked about that too. So I do need to revisit that. The state of Indiana wants us to survey all of our lines and inventory what lines might be lead based. And they basically want us to figure out if we have copper, if we have lead, if we have this and that. So, yeah.
Any information you could pass along to Marshall, they would greatly appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So should we do
I think you can probably go,
Departments.
you can ask for other new business.
any other new business? Oh, well, we could do
Oh, that's your new business.
this is my new business.
Mhm.
We got a couple of estimates for a new roof on the smaller garage out there at the cemetery.
It is falling in such really
Yeah.
bad shape.
It's bad. It's got a leak. It's got a hole. Probably going to have the decking replaced, at least in some spots. So we're going to encumber some money from.
If we go under contract, I can encumber some money
Yeah.
from cemetery garage repair. I had $2,000 in this year.
Yeah.
I can encumber some of that money towards next year.
Yeah.
So,
And then maybe we can pay for a new roof
Yes.
in the spring.
yes.
So I have one estimate here from Long's for $5,500, and another estimate from Quality Roofing of Indiana for $4,620. So, any thoughts? Should we go with
Were
the
these
lowest?
the only two that we got?
Yeah, this is the only two we got.
Okay.
Everybody's busy, and so they're,
It's hard to get people out.
yeah, it's hard to get people out and say they're coming. So, but I think the Quality Roofing one is a very reasonable.
He's local, isn't he?
Yeah, well, they're both local, so.
I think local should be better, always.
Ken, you're the construction guy.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I've
You wanna
used them,
look at
so.
it?
You've used them.
Oh, good,
Isn't that who Dan Hazard works for?
yeah.
Yep.
Unless you guys have any other firms that you know of that you've had, or your brother-in-law's had, or something like that.
I mean, that's just a garage roof, right? I mean, I'm
That's
going
what
off
I'm
memory.
thinking.
That's just like this, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
just two
Yeah,
sides.
yeah.
There's no valleys, and
No.
I-
No.
You know, almost
I
$5
haven't
grand
seen it
seems
for a long time.
high.
But yeah, water shield.
Any kind of roof.
Roofs are, it's just expensive. Getting a roof is expensive.
It is.
How much is Dan's quote?
4,600.
Okay. And the other one from Long's was 5,500?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what a square shield is going for anymore.
I mean, I can try to get a couple more.
Well, I
I
can tell
personally
you,
don't think you need to, but
Yeah.
Let's go with
but it's up to
quality.
you guys. But yeah,
You think that's reasonable, Ken?
Mhm.
Okay.
because that's what I'm going off memory. Was it a 24 by 30? 24
yeah,
by
it's-
24.
that's about the right
Yeah.
size, yeah. I can tell you that I roofed that house on Central Street, and the material
I didn't
alone
even
was
look at that one, but
$4,600. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So you just need a motion.
to be honest with you, that's cheaper than what I've seen in the past from them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so
Usually a little
too.
more
I
expensive.
think it's, you know, he could never, he couldn't work for
So
us
it's-
before.
It's 24.
Yeah, so.
I thought I'd give him the chance to do it.
We need a motion while we're going.
Yeah, you just need a motion to,
I need a motion to approve to have Quality Roofing.
I make a motion for quality roofing.
Okay. And second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Take your vote.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All ayes? The ayes have it. Okay. All right, we'll get a contract drawn up and everything, so we can get those funds available for when it's warm again in the spring.
Yeah, I'll call.
Hopefully
Dana.
it's still standing then.
Yep, yep. So you go on to department reports.
Let's start with department reports.
I didn't give you a water report. It's
Oh.
about the same. We didn't
Okay.
shut anybody off.
Don't shut
We hung about
off.
5 or 6 tags last month.
Okay,
It's usually about 90 penalties. About a third of the town pays their bill late.
okay.
I haven't heard of any wastewater needs from anybody. Gary, I know that Mike and Cliff put in all the little heaters and did all the little winterizing type stuff, and Mike was going to try to get with Gary on the water tower because that's always a mess every year. They did come to inspect the water tower, and I have not seen the inspection report. I know Mike did talk to them too, so that was like last week. So, but it is supposed to be painted. It was supposed to be painted last year. The outside was supposed to be painted, and so I think that
They just didn't get us penciled
Well,
in, or?
from what Gary says, the water tower painting is a really big issue in the spring
Oh.
because Schottmeyer is pulling so much water in the spring that draining the tower and trying to run just on the pumps while because you still have to drain it even though you're painting the exterior.
Right.
He said it's really extremely stressful. So it's not been scheduled now. I did talk to Greg Schottmeyer at one point in time, and he did say that he could fill his exterior tanks, and so that would be helpful
Yeah.
too. So it just needs to be coordinated, and
Is it too late
so
now?
yeah, it's too late this season. We won't get it this season. So I do think we do need to shoot for doing it in the spring. So yeah.
Okay. Street department, I think we talked a lot about that
Yep.
already.
I talked about everything I know
Yep.
about it.
Park,
The park situation seems to be settling in. Children are not tearing up the new swing set as much as they were. Seems to be staying together, and they seem to be utilizing the other big swings that we put new swings on. So
They really are.
yeah, I've noticed a lot of them out here.
The park looks nice. Carol had our purple lights replaced with real lights. It's I know.
I know everybody was upset because I called and because they're defective. When they're purple, they're not right. They bought a bunch of lights from Acuity or someplace in China, and they're all defective. So now they're having to replace them all. So, I mean, when you go in there, it actually has a place that says purple lights, and you check that off, and then they came and replaced it. So, Mike's upset with me, because, you know,
He liked them too.
he liked the purple lights. So. But I thought, you know, I think it needs a little brighter over there, especially
Yeah.
since it gets dark at 6 o'clock now. Okay,
Alright.
it's all right. So, park looks good.
Their fire department report.
I think I have it.
All
We had
right.
1 brush fire, 3 medical runs, 1 power line down, and 1 motor vehicle accident. Boys were busy.
Breakfast Sunday.
Total runs. Do we have a total run?
6.
Yeah,
6?
6. Oh, that
Wow.
wasn't
Yeah.
So,
Hey Barb, just pass that down to me. Thank you.
so how did the field fire start? Lanes.
I think somebody was burning leaves or something along the road. I wasn't there, I was at work.
Yeah,
I think it blew over into Lane's field.
I think I know who it was.
I'm pretty sure it was the guy that lives right next there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm concerned, do we need a burn ban in town? Can we do that? Is Parke County gonna have one?
That would be a county thing. I mean, I suppose the town could,
Can you kind of request that they have
Well,
one in the county?
we've passed, the fire department has passed along some information from, like, the rest of the state. The only county around that I know that's done one is Vigo right now.
All the county
south
south.
places.
That's basically
All the
Vigo
counties south of us
south.
have one now.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of counties I thought.
Normally, that's something that the county issues.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
So could we just throw something up on the Facebook page saying, hey,
Don't burn.
there's not currently a burn ban, but all the counties south of us
Can
have
we-
issued it. We're probably likely going to have
Well,
it.
and that's what
It
we've
would
been
be
doing on
smart
our
not
Facebook
to-
page, is passing on the warnings from everybody else that,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know. But when I came down the hill today, I seen some
Well,
guy
I
burning
made the
leaves on-
mistake of following Paul Scanner now on
No, don't
Facebook.
read Paul's- No.
And there's fires everywhere. I mean, there was a bad one in Bloomingdale, brush fire. There's all kinds of brush fires.
There's one on my
So
road
it's
about midnight
windy
every
and
night.
it's dry and it's just,
Everyone's trying to clean
Yeah,
up the yard.
I'm not joking. It's,
Yeah, the other day I drove in and I was like, well, there
I
was
think I talked to that guy out there in the blue hat.
Yeah.
raking leaves
sure,
and burning
Lisa.
leaves on about every other block. I was like, oh,
Hey,
okay.
hey, I want this stuff
okay.
stopped.
Well, make sure your tank's filled because I don't want a field next to me from my yard. I already had to call once when I burnt my yard up, so we
Yeah,
won't
you
go
did.
there.
I was there.
Was you there? Yeah.
Justin's
It's a
lit some
good
pretty
thing,
good
Mr.
fires
Brown.
before, too.
I had already hosed it all down. I thought I had it all out. And then I went in the house and, was collapsed on the couch.
You about got in that little area of your garage, or your
Yes,
little,
it
your
did.
lean-to right there.
Yeah. And Mr. Brown come over and he goes, Carol, I don't think your yard is out yet. You better call the fire department. So, that's embarrassing. But, that's the way. You guys were right there, though. Okay, cemetery, we had 2 burials and 1 cremation.
How much is it to buy one right now?
$600.
And that's up.
No, it's not $600.
It wasn't
It's
like,
$300.
I thought it was
It's
$300 back
$300.
If you want to,
Yeah.
a couple
it's
years
6.
ago. So.
It's $300. We are very low in inventory. I actually had Andrea count on the maps, which are probably not correct. I mean, we maybe have 50 spaces
Yeah.
in C and D, which is what we can sell, and we really need to figure out how to get that other section plotted. So,
That one that's
Speaking of
Yeah.
me and you need to sit
Yeah.
down at some point.
I would think we should.
I will take a week off work or something because we've got to get that like
the cemetery.
digitized.
Oh gosh, the
Oh.
cemetery it's exhausting.
It's
You
a
don't
nightmare.
understand.
It's
a night.
It's
Every
an absolute nightmare.
yeah. It's
Well,
terrible.
I started to digitize it all, and then I was like, wait, I'm putting the same names in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
really
exact same
confusing.
thing, just transposed. I was like, oh, well,
Yeah.
this is not.
It is. I mean,
All right.
there's 3 or 4 places to look to make sure that's where people are supposed to go.
It really genuinely is, and then
And
we have to
then-
go out there and have a probe.
And I go out there, and then Cliff says, Carol, I think you're putting them in the wrong place. And I said, I'll take the blame. I don't want to hear any more about it.
It is.
So that's how we do it.
It's exhausting.
Put 'em in.
I mean, it seriously is bad.
Well,
It is.
It's a cringe when they say cemetery. I need a plan, and you're just like, okay,
Well, we've looked into some software, but I don't know if that'd help or not.
I
But
don't know. It's
like
just
I said, I think
exhausting.
it's just going to take me and you several
Well,
days of work to get it, your knowledge, and my getting it into a
C and
digitized
D
system.
are not too bad. A and B, they've lost all the paperwork on it.
I didn't lose any paperwork. I
No.
have to be clear.
It was
It's all your fault, Natalie.
it was
Someone else
in a
lost it.
fire supposedly sometime in Briddick's garage or whatever. I don't know, but
Junior Britick shed.
yeah.
That's what I tell people.
Okay.
So
So we don't know whether there's empty ones there, but we don't
We
know
can't sell,
who
we
the
don't
deeds
know.
are for
Yeah.
those or. But if somebody has to have a deed to get in there, pretty
it's
much.
sort of, yeah.
or
It's
family
yeah.
permission or something. So, all right. Police.
5 tickets, 2 warnings.
Dang. Writing those tickets.
Oh, speaking of police, and this might fall under you eventually. I got a call, what was that, yesterday or the day before?
I don't know.
When I sent you guys the picture of the chickens?
Oh, the chickens, yes.
I got a call about chickens from an anonymous person that I know, saying that they're chasing children after school down the street or down the sidewalk. So I was like, oh, are you kidding me? So I went, I took pictures, there was chickens.
Are these the same chickens on Central Street?
These are
I
the
am
same
sure
chickens
they're
on
the
Central
same-
Street. They were actually in my yard on Central
Didn't we
Street.
send them a letter?
We sent them a letter. We
No.
sent her a copy of the ordinance.
Okay.
Yes. They are not. Yes, they were in the yard of the house that I own on Central
And
Street.
yes,
they
they
are
were
not my
2
chickens.
big black roosters.
So
that
they're just
were
they're
out
just
there.
red chickens. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say that the mailing of the ordinance to her is going to be good enough for a warning for me.
Yeah. It's a
Would you
$25.
agree with that?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
It's a $25 per day fine per our ordinance.
Right.
So
what
up
we
to
did was-
$50.
Central that way.
Well,
I created a notice of violations form, and then I just write on there. So we sent them a violations because of their yard. They've got old vehicles and junk back
We're not
there.
supposed to have chickens.
But I also had Natalie stick in the envelope a copy of
They're in the
the
backyard.
animal ordinance that says no
On the
fowl.
sidewalk.
I
When
highlighted
the
it.
kids walk home from
You're right.
school.
So
I sent
that
it
was all
certified.
mailed to them.
That all went certified too. So
Oh, yes, right. We sent them an affidavit, not a letter.
yes, we did. Yes, we sent them after.
Now I do know they are working on cleaning up their yard
They-
because
They've been outside. Yes.
Sunday afternoon during the whole spray paint caper, I had to go speak to them.
Yes.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
So I will run across that young lady, try here in the next few days, and let her know that I'm going to give her till like a certain date, and if they're not gone, she's going to start getting cited.
I say a 14-day
I would
period, or
Well, I
not
wouldn't
even that.
give her that
10.
14 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Because, yeah, I mean, she knows that she wasn't supposed to have them. She griped about it on Facebook before. So,
Well, now she's selling eggs on Facebook. So.
You might have some eggs in your yard now.
No, I probably do.
Yeah.
I can.
Bet she didn't have a
I,
no,
license
these were
either.
These were the-
roosters, so.
they were the other
Yeah, they-
colored ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
these
think
were-
they're roosters.
I don't think they're roosters. I think they're just a different variety of chicken.
Yeah.
They look like big old roosters.
Because I don't think
to
she
me.
has any
They're big
roosters.
chickens.
But they're big. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
Is this the time to bring
I don't
up the
think they
yard
have a
cleaning
rooster.
letters we've sent out if we've had? Is this the same time to talk about
Yeah,
it?
we just
Yeah.
sent out, 2 weeks ago, we just sent out 2 affidavits and
We sent out 2 certified letters. One to these people we're talking about, and another one. I haven't been down that road.
It's
The one
still-
was on Lowell's Lane.
It's not changed.
yeah, they're not doing nothing.
Right.
about the one
And
that
then
should
we
come in?
sent out multiple other letters about mowing and things like that. I think some of them did take action.
The one down on the very south end of town, she called me. I have had a couple people reach out.
Yeah.
Her brother recently passed away. Her husband passed away 2
Yeah.
years ago. She's on her own. She has attempted to make some effort.
She has.
You could tell
yeah,
she
she
has
has.
been.
See,
I mean-
who else? I think I got one other phone call maybe.
Well, we sent one down for the Stevens' property. That was another one that needs mowed. And I was gonna have Mike try to mow that and put a lien on it.
Yeah,
Because it's coming into the road on that lot. Another one that we sent for on Sinclair Street, he came in to talk to me and I told him to leave you a voicemail. And he did not.
Is he living there? I thought
No
you
one's
said
living there right
no
now.
one's living there.
No, but it's a mess.
Is that true?
I
What
think
about
a
the
couple
one-
of the other ones have been.
do you have a phone number for him on Sinclair?
I do not. I might have something in the water system. I'll see.
Well, let's do that, and then I will
Okay.
contact him and give him if I can get a hold of him, I'll give him a week to get that truck out of there.
Yeah.
If not, we'll tag that truck and tow it.
Okay.
Because that truck has a smashed roof with a busted windshield and it can't be driven.
Right. Okay.
So
What about the ones you come in town? I mean, I walk every day on the trail and I see the
Oh.
one on the other side.
Are we talking about the blue house?
The Higgins house.
Yeah, so I got a complaint on that yesterday.
Who's that?
The blue house on Central Street right by the apartments.
Next to Welch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Les Williams came in yesterday and I filled out a complaint form for him. The dog is really aggressive over there. He said they've been letting it out and letting it run, and it's come at him several times. He's just worried about kids walking home from school. I don't know who goes that direction. There are a lot of kids walking up and down the hill.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
And I walk every day on the trail, and I mean, sometimes it's changed, sometimes it's
Is
not.
that the
but there's
one I had to
trash
clean
all
those
over the
vehicles
place.
up? That's where the old van used to sit.
That's where the
Right.
van sat. Yeah, now it's
That's
somebody
that young-
different.
Yeah. The young couple there.
Yes, it's the young couple, but they've got some untagged vehicles over there too still, and I don't know why they don't mow their grass, but yes.
It's
Just
a mess.
go
It's
over
just
all
a
that
mess.
with them.
Yeah. So
And the
yeah,
dog
so he
carries the
came in
trash.
yesterday.
There's trash all over the yard.
Yes, that was the other thing he said. He said it's a mess down there. It looks terrible. He said it just kind of blows over into the apartments, and yeah,
Well, I do have the phone number to the lady that owns that house, which is his
Okay.
his mom.
mother.
Yeah,
Oh.
I have her email too. So
There we go.
And
Send her
has
the
the house
affidavit.
on
There you go.
Depot gone
I
to
talked to her
bed yet?
once.
it's pretty soon.
Spray painting caper, those juveniles, I was able to identify those Sunday night. Case report, a bunch of pictures was all sent to the prosecutor. I know at least one of the victims has spoke to the prosecutor. That would be Natalie.
Yes, I have spoken to the prosecutor today. So
Oh, they tagged one of your places?
Oh.
they did. They painted outside on the church that we're remodeling for the daycare.
Oh.
But then they also decided to go inside
Yeah.
and paint inside as well. So that kind of changed the whole circumstance of everything that they did when they decided to
Yeah,
go
it's
They
inside
went
and
from-
paint.
At that point.
That's
They
one.
went from
Yeah, what
6
is
little
that?
misdemeanor criminal mischief things to
Felony
one big
charge.
fat felony when they
Yeah.
perform residential entry.
Yeah.
So the prosecutor and probation office is all.
I
Yeah.
wondered
It's all
if
in
that
their
was two
hands
different
now.
things, just outside spray
Yeah.
painting and then.
So we just
Inside
never traveling
spray
back when all that stuff was going on. And
Yeah,
so.
the church.
We
is
could
on
really
Cedar
use some,
Block, it looked like.
You know,
I mean,
community
on the
service at
side.
Rosedale.
I mean,
Well, unfortunately,
Well-
their community service will have to be very well monitored, being that they're juveniles.
Well,
There's
yeah.
going to be very limited things that they can do.
There is, and it is really limited for juveniles to get community service, because when I get community service workers for the Strawberry Festival, I'll tell them we can use juveniles because they have very few opportunities. But yes, I did talk to Kevin Starker today about that situation as well. So, yeah.
Oh, well,
that's-
So
oh.
it's it
And wasn't
definitely.
this all in the daytime?
A lot of it happened Sunday from like noon to 3.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
There was a deputy down here earlier because I was in Rockville at Taser training. He couldn't find him. There was a second call right as I was getting done with
Yeah.
training, so I came from Rockville and came straight down here and started looking into it. And probably about an hour and a half I had it
Okay.
then kind of figured out. Kind of got lucky because they actually walked by and looked at somebody, and I found out who that person was, and they were able to identify him from a picture on Facebook for me.
Oh, my.
They walk by shaking their can.
Yeah. That,
No, but the one that did not try to deny it when we were talking to him, we looked at his hand and said, "Well, it's kind of funny. You got the same kind of paint on your color on your hand." It's
Yeah.
been
You
painted on all the
literally
buildings."
caught red-handed.
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
I mean, it was red spray paint that I see. So well, that's
That's not. It's
not funny
sad.
or
Sad
ironic at
situation.
all.
Kids make
Because,
split-second
I
decisions.
mean, Natalie's place is going to be a
They do.
daycare, and it was just about ready to go. And
Yeah.
It's just,
I'm not set back. I'm not. I mean,
it,
You
you
know,
know, but
it's just super irritating and super frustrating, because like the one room that they decided to spray paint, we were not going to paint. I was like, you know what? I don't even care. It might be ugly paneling like this. It was like, we're just going to leave this one. So then they decided to paint that whole room with spray paint. And, you know, I did talk to the prosecutor's office, and there's nothing really, there's no good solution.
Yeah.
There's no good answer. So,
there's not one.
yeah, and I can't wait on restitution or cleanup. I got to keep moving. So
Right.
it is what it is.
Okay. So, what about the Lowell Lane property going on down?
I sent the affidavit, that's back in your guys' court.
Yeah, so they signed for it. I have a card. They received it. So, what's the timeline on it? Do you remember? How many days do we give them?
Normally it's 10.
Is it 10? Yeah, I don't think that she's taken any action, has she?
It
So-
looked like maybe there was boxes, but that's just because the curtains have fell down on the porch, so I can.
That porch has a path from the
Yes.
front door to the screen door.
I know.
So does that just put the ball in Scott's court at the end of the day?
Yeah, my days of talking to them and sending them letters and trying to get voluntary compliance are kind of,
Yeah.
I'm
They
kind of
live
done with
there,
it.
it sounds
They
like.
do live there, yes. Hmm.
And it's what is it, the outside that's bad or both?
It's
Oh, well, nobody wants to go in there.
no,
but-
it's vehicles, it's junk in the yard, it's
There's an old
vegetation.
camper that's got windows
it's,
knocked out in the back.
it's
I
just
mean,
really, it's really just
Yeah, I
bad.
mean, once they've gotten, I mean, you tell them, going inside the house is not easy. You don't want to mess with that. But
Right.
as far as the outside goes,
Mhm.
once they've gotten their notice,
Right.
you're free. You have the right to take remediation action yourself.
So we have the right to clean it up, and then we can lean on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we
I've
have
talked
to.
to them at least twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
Mailed them at least 1 or 2 letters. And last was an affidavit that said, you need to do something.
Well, I'm wondering if a conversation on that needs to be had with the mother, because it's her property
Right.
and the daughter's
It's
living
not-
there.
no.
So, and the mail went to her, but they signed for it. So,
Yeah, it went to that well.
yeah, it
I
went
think
to it went to the mom. That's when you gave it to me, that's who it went to. And I think I have a phone number for her. I don't know if a call to her would help. I don't know.
And
I'd
I don't
be
know if
happy to
people
call her.
pay attention or understand what that letter means sometimes. They just, oh, it's another thing telling me to clean up my property.
Right.
No, this
Mhm.
time,
Right.
we're going to do it and it's going to be very expensive to you.
Yeah.
So it would be a lot cheaper if you want, you're going to get this cleaned up one way or the other. So
Right.
either you do it yourself, get a dumpster in here,
Mhm.
or we're going to do it and you're going to pay up the wazoo
If
to.
you've got her phone number,
I think I have it. Yeah.
text it to me and I'll try to, while I'm at work tomorrow or the next day, I'll try to give her a call and say, look, do you understand what's going on here?
Right. Okay.
Some action needs to be taken or
Yeah.
we're going to take action.
So that gives us the legal right to go on their property and do things
Outside. Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
We can, okay.
I mean, it's weirder when they live there, because you have
Yeah.
issues with them, safety and them getting angry, and so. But my experience has been that serves to motivate people pretty highly when you show up with the dumpster and say, okay, we're coming tomorrow with the dumpster, and okay, hold on, don't throw that away. Oh,
And we
well.
did do that, the Stevens' property. We did get a dumpster, and
Well, there's
Tony and Cliff went down there, and we did all that.
It's also it's while it's punishment for the property owner in the sense of them having to pay for it, it's also though punishment for you guys because you have other things that your people could be doing and they're down there doing that. And so
and we only have 1 people
yeah,
right now,
your person. So it
so that's going to be
it's
hard.
not optimal.
No,
Yeah,
he's
he's-
just not been feeling good.
Yeah.
But he's gonna work tomorrow. They're gonna put that new door in the shop.
So, yeah, and safety is a concern. I don't know. I know who the girl is
Right.
that lives there, but I don't know her spouse or
People just
what's his reaction's going to be or anything like that.
So I'll get you a number tomorrow for her. I think I have one in there, and I'll just text you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if that would be an issue, then it would be before, we send anybody down there to clean up, give Kevin a call and
Well-
say, hey, can you come with us while we tell them, we're getting ready to clean up your property.
Well, we had sheriff deputy on site and you guys on site when we cleaned up down there.
Okay, well, that's
So yeah,
what I
Clyde
was getting
Clyde
at.
stayed down there.
Where's
we
that?
were at Stevens's.
Oh, yeah.
Clyde stayed down there when we cleaned that
That was
up.
good times.
Yeah. Yes. So,
Sometime, huh?
yes.
Yay.
You remember that? Mr.
I remember
Chuck?
those days very well.
Yes.
Didn't you start cleaning some stuff up then all of a sudden though?
They did. It does motivate you a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to
My
remember that.
dog
It's been a
walking
while.
stick
been a
and go
while.
down there and stand.
But yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
reason
They
about
just put it all inside the
They
bin.
didn't want throwing away all of a
Yeah.
sudden, so.
Right.
That's when
So-
we hauled the school bus away.
Oh, yes. When they hauled the
Good
school
times.
buses away, they were honking past John's house.
With a lot of
Yes.
motions.
Yes. There was a lot.
As,
So-
as frustrating as it is, because you think of the properties that are problems, you know,
Yeah.
there are things that have gotten cleaned up, there's cars been towed away, it's just.
Yes. Yeah.
you
And
know,
I do think about the positives because if you just think about the negatives, then you just don't feel good for the day.
You know, this, we tore down a house in Montezuma this fall that was the worst house I've ever seen. And I mean, it was, and I've seen a lot of them, and this was by far the worst. And as soon as they tore that house down, I noticed, that house next to it isn't that great. It didn't look so bad until they tore down that one, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, that one doesn't look so hot either. But you just didn't notice it before. So it's, you know, it's like trying to, you know,
Speaking of not so great houses, have we heard anything on Elsie's house?
I was getting rid of that.
No.
You said the worst house you've ever seen. I was like, well,
Yeah.
you haven't seen Elsie's
Have
house.
you guys clerk treasurer? Or
Oh,
did you
my
just go ahead and-
listen. My clerk treasurer's report is, so when I got audited, apparently our capital assets policy requires us to take a yearly inventory of everything.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for that, Scott.
you're welcome. I know it's-
And I just guess I didn't read it and know that. So she did say that we need to take an annual inventory. So I'm gonna have Mike and I'll help him go around, and we will have to adjust our assets a little bit. So I'm gonna have to ask Larry Tippin to do that. He'll have to add the new vehicles on, remove the Explorer, some things like that. Just doing a little adjustment for
That's
capital
the idea.
assets. Yes.
You do the inventory and then you remember, oh
Right,
yeah,
and then we
I gotta
remember what we
update
have
this
to do.
thing.
Yeah.
So, and she told me, she goes, you can change this. You can change this and do it every 2 years if you want, Natalie. And I was like, well, let me get 1 year done since I've been doing this job for 5 years. So,
That one guy was really good.
Larry was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and when I was doing my report last year, I had a question, and he goes, oh, I got your spreadsheet. He goes, I'm just going to make the change for you, and he
Yeah.
charged me $75. So, yes.
Great.
So he was good. So that's what I have on tap next for me.
Okay.
And other than that, everything else is going good. Andrew's got, on the water end, Mike was in here, we have put in over 30 new meters. She can real time read them. They're all reading. She's learned a lot. Last week while I was gone, Matt Kingery and Josh Clark came from Midwest Meter and sat with her, went over more of the software and everything. It is really fascinating, and I know Mike was stressed out about putting those meters in, but they're really easy to put in.
That's what he was saying.
We haven't had to replace the brass on anything yet.
Okay.
So, fingers crossed. But, and they were pricing a meter for the school. The school meter is not reading, but it's a different meter because it's a bigger line.
Yeah.
So, Matt was supposed to get us the price on that meter because this is going to be an expensive one. But
All right.
other than that, that's gone pretty well.
Well, I don't think that leak's fixed yet.
Yeah.
Just,
No, their water consumption's pretty normal. But Andrea's got a pretty good system going for how she's cataloging the new meter numbers and everything like that. She kind of went back to some of the old stuff, and so I think we're good. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay.
Public.
So, yep, back to public.
Public comments. Scott, you got anything to say to finish up the
All's well in the
evening?
legal department,
Yeah. Ooh.
as far as I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to pay bills.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Everybody make sure you sign the bills.
We already did
Okay.
that all
All right.
back to her.
Cody, you're adjourning. Okay. Who's your second?
I'll second it.
Ken. Okay.
I'll second.